Coach, knowing that you need either a win or a draw for this match, how do you approach it?
Like I said, it's a game that we're going to approach to win. That's the way we go on the road. That's the way we play. We know we got to be smart about it. We know they're going to look to try and counter as they have. We know they're going to try and rely on their speed. So we have to be organized and we have to have security there. But at the end of the day, we're going to win.
Not necessarily in any one game, but in general, what sort of advantage does Dallas have by having so many homegrowns coming up to their roster?
Well, against us, they only played two homegrowns or started two homegrowns, Yaloa and the goalkeeper. Players are players. So if you bring them out of your homegrown system or you sign them someplace else, you're always looking to sign good players. And so, from their standpoint I don't think it's something philosophically that the under-16s are necessarily playing the same style as their first team, or there's something that's gained ahead of that. I mean, I think what you do gain is, you got local kids, you got kids who are hungry to play for their city and to battle for that, and guys who consider it an honor and a privilege. But everybody puts on our green shirt as well considers it an honor and a privilege.
We haven't seen much of your homegrowns this year. Are they growing behind the scenes, or have they progressed this year?
Yeah, they've progressed. I think I think Kovar's progressed really well. I think he had some really good games in the Champions League, and then as we got healthy and added some players, his growth, continued to go, but his time on the field, was difficult to attain. Darwin Jones, I think, has made some strides. It's the first year that we've really had an S2 team, so how we approach that next year is probably going to be a little bit different. But Darwin, I think his growth came a little bit later, but over the last 2-3 months, I think he's trained really well, done really good things that way. And Victor Mansaray, he's still young, between S2, between the national team. We've sent him a couple of places where we wanted him to train in a couple of different countries. So his development, we took a little bit different path to at this point.
I know you often talk to Jurgen regarding the national team call-ups and all that. Did you get any indication why none of your players were called up for the World Cup qualifiers?
Well, obviously Brad's hurt right now, in Jurgen's mind. So Jurgen and I had talked about that when he was up here, and so I knew that was coming. And then I think Jurgen, he can answer, his own question in regards to Clint, but I think he went with a younger group up front, with maybe the exception of Alan Gordon. I think it's just he's looking at these two games and saying, hey, give these younger guys a shot and maybe stay away from the guys who are still in the playoffs.
There have been some reports out of Nigeria that Oba might have gotten called back in. Is he planning on going away here?
Yeah. I mean, Oba's gotten called in, and he will go. Yeah.
And Papa?
Papa's gotten called in as well. Yeah.
Coach, the playoffs are a different beast. How does the veteran experience on your squad give you guys an upper leg?
It's again, we've got a lot of players who've been in big games, so I think they know how to react to that situation. They're not going to have nerves in that difficult situation or get uptight. And so, from a standpoint of a veteran team, it's a team that knows what they have to do, and I'm confident that they can do it. They showed it last week, 3 games in 7 days, and they did a great job with it.
It's fair that there's so much weight put on the MLS Cup, even though it's a little bit arbitrarily who's playing the best at the right time. It maybe doesn't show exactly the best.
Yeah, it's a tournament at the end of the year, but that's what our country values as being the champion. It's sort of like I know years ago in football, I think there was a team that went 16-0 and ended up losing the Super Bowl. So are they not the best team in the NFL at that time point, or was somebody else better? You look back on Salt Lake in 2009, I've forgotten about it. They were a team that had a losing record in the regular season, and they ended up being MLS Cup champions. So all what people talk about now is they were the top team in the league that year. Well, were they? I don't know. So it's a situation of it is what it is. It's a tournament. We've historically, we need to now do a better job at the tournament, and I think our guys are focused on the tournament as it is.
Are Brad and Ozzy and Leo making the trip to Dallas?
They're making progress, but we'll see.
What kind of challenges your team face going against a team that has their back against the wall, because they have to score in order to stay alive?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, those, I mean, and the challenges are that they're a team that the strength of their team is counterattacking. So if they come out at us and really put a lot of pressure on us, that gives us an opportunity to counter and maybe takes a little bit away from their normal offensive scheme. If they sit back, try and lure us forward, you know, we have to do a good job of holding on to the ball and not giving the ball away in bad spots on the field and eliminating their opportunities to counter.